Hello crafty chatters! Today I'm showing you how to make this. This is air drying clay and you can make wonderful things from it, like this rose, and then when you leave them to dry they go hard. This is what you'll need. Something to make your clay in. That all of these things need to be things that you're not going to use for food in the future. Something to stir the mixture with. That's the handle from a paintbrush, which I accidentally broke. Something to measure your ingredients with. I'm using an old sauce pot. Trusty PVA glue. Something to colour your dough. I'm using paint, just acrylic paint, or you can use, if you've got any old paint lying around the house, this one's a tester. You can use watercolour as well, or you could use food colouring. Something to colour your dough. And you will also need flour. I'm using plain flour, and I have labelled it so that nobody tries to use it for food after I've put my disgusting non-food gluey mess in there. If you try to use self-raising flour, it will work, it's just not as well. You'll also need something to turn your dough out onto. I'm using this plastic sheet so that you don't get the colour all over the work surface. So, gather your materials, get permission from an adult, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so the first thing to tell you is this little cup or tub or whatever you're using is your measure. So, what you're going to have to do is measure one of however big your measure is. You're going to use one whole measure, so full to the top, of flour, and halfway, not the whole way, halfway of glue. Okay, so I take a full measure of flour and put it in my mixing bowl. Like that. Now, into this full measure of flour, we're going to add a half measure of glue. And now we're going to put the glue into the flour mixture. Now we're going to add some colour to that. So you just need a tiny bit of colour. This is my yellow paint. I'm going to put, I don't know if you can see how much I'm putting in there. Let me try and get it on here. I'm going to put that much in. You can always add more paint later, but you can't always take more paint out. And then we're going to stir it. Okay, so when there's not much flour at all left to mix in, I know I've mixed it enough. Okay, so then you'll need your piece of plastic or whatever you're going to work on, and you can put a little bit of flour on there, just a little dusting, like that much. Spread it out a little bit, and then put your dough onto the plastic. Now your dough is going to be sticky, so don't panic. It should be sticky like this. Okay, so this dough we're going to work. That means knead it, and that means turn it over, add the flour that's on the table, turn it over itself lots, like we do when we make bread dough or slime. Now at this point, if you think you need to, you can add some more flour. But you don't want to add too much flour, otherwise it will dry very quickly and you'll end up with a dough that you can't make anything from. Okay, so as you can see, it's still sticking to my fingers. That's okay. Now I'm going to add a tiny bit more flour. This is why my flour's in a tub that I'm not going to use for food anymore, because look. So I don't need all of that, I think. Put some to the side. And then okay, so this is starting to clean my fingers now, see? So when it cleans your fingers, you know you're getting to the point where you've got enough flour in there. It's starting to clean them, so it needs a little bit more, I think. Okay, this is working now. Just going to put a tiny bit on there, a bit of flour, just to help me rub that off my fingers, and then mix that into the dough. Okay, now as you can see, it's no longer sticking to my hands, so that's ready. Leave it to one side. We're going to clean out this bowl here and clean up the sides of my flour bowl. I've scraped out my bowl, well, jar, and I've kneaded it all together, and here is my dough. So I'm going to move this out the way, and I'm just going to tidy up my work surface because this is no longer sticky, well, too sticky. Oh, look what you can do. Just gonna clean up the rest of there. Doobie doobie doo. Beautiful. That's just my little trick. Make clean up easier. So here's my dough. When you've left it out for a little bit, it will start to go less sticky. But this one, as you can see, I left out for too long. So if you leave it out for too long, this is what you can do. You can take a tiny bit, and by that I mean a very, very small amount, of PVA glue, like this, and dab that on there. So you need a tiny, tiny bit, and work that in. As you work it in, it will go too sticky to start with. Don't panic, you're doing it right. Just keep going and kneading it, and eventually you'll have a dough that starts to clean your fingers, like mine is here, and then soon after it'll be perfect again. So I've made some other colours. Now you don't need lots of different colours to make this, you only need 3, because as you all know, if you add yellow, blue and red, you get a brown. If you add red and blue, you get purple. If you add yellow and red, you get orange. And if you add yellow and blue, you get green. So you can make lots and lots of different colours just from these 3 colours. You can't make white though. You will have to make a white one if you want white. Yeah, anyway, if you can count how many times I said so during this video, and comment in the box below or send me a text and tell me, then you're the winnerest of them all. I'm not saying you'll win a prize, but you're the winnerest. You can be the best. And I hope you get a chance to make this. It really is lots of fun, and when it's dried, you can use it for all sorts of things. You can make beads from it, you can use it to make a fridge magnet, you can even use it in the next project, which I'm not telling you about because it's a surprise. So have fun, let me know what you think, and I miss you guys, and hopefully we'll be able to meet together in real life again soon. And yeah, have fun. So I thought I'd show you how easy it is to use this clay. You don't have to use anything to stick the clay together, it sticks to itself. And here I'm doing a marbling effect. So you layer up different colours and then you roll them out, and then you layer them up again, or fold them in, or twist them and roll them out until you get the marble look that you want. And just to show you don't have to use glue, there I've added the sun, and I didn't use any glue to stick it together. And here I'm adding a hill and putting a border on the hill. In my opinion, things look purple in a sunset, so I used purple instead of brown. That's supposed to be a fence on the hill. Add a little bit of perspective, and now I'm doing the other side. And then I'm going to add some sheep and their faces. So while I've been recording this, I've had hay fever. I do apologise if you've heard me struggling to breathe at any point. It's just the hay fever. I'm okay, don't worry about me. So now I'm using a knife just to straighten the edges. They will puff up a little bit more as it dries because it's made with flour, but it will look grand, I'm sure. So after 24 hours, it's quite hard. The middle is still a tiny bit soft if you squidge it hard, but you can use this. And what I did was, after 12 hours this way up, I turned it this way up and let the back dry. If you can prop it up like that, it will obviously dry quicker. So send me any pictures if you make these. I think I might turn this one into a fridge magnet and put it on our fridge. Have fun, guys. Bye.